Today's episode is presented by A24's harrowing new horror film, Bring Her Back, in theaters everywhere, May 30th. Nearly 2 years after bludgeoning the box office with the overnight all-timer Talk to Me, brothers Danny and Michael Philippou return to conjure even more terror from the aisles with Bring Her Back. A brother and sister uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother, played by Oscar-nominated actress Sally Hawkins. Bloody Disgusting's Megan Navarro calls it the feel-bad horror movie of the year, with scares as visceral and brutal as you'd expect. Discover how death can be undone and Bring Her Back, exclusively in theaters everywhere, May 30th.
McCrispy strips are now at McDonald's. I hope you're ready for the most dippable chicken in McDonald's history. Dip it in all the sauces. Dip it in that hot sauce in your bag. Dip it in your McFlurry. Your dip is your business. McCrispy strips at McDonald's.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Welcome to Scare You to Sleep. I'm your host, Shelby Novak, and I'm here to read you a couple of bedtime stories. First of all, I want to say today is the 7th anniversary of the show. As you may have noticed, to commemorate the occasion, I got myself a little anniversary present. I have some new intro music. Thank you so much to composer Brant Parks for my beautiful new sound. I'm so happy to have something that's specifically for Scare You to Sleep, not something I basically rent from a different website like I have been for the last 7 years. So thank you so much, Brant. I have his Instagram linked in the show notes. Please go to him if you have any of your own music needs, be it for a podcast or just for maybe a theme song for yourself to walk around to. This week, I have 2 original stories written by me. I figured that was the most appropriate thing to do for the anniversary. First up is Little Red Light. Little red light. I have no one to tell this to, so I'll tell you. I don't know how long I've been here, but I know it's been years. 2, 3, more. I can't tell. He comes every day at the same time. I'm not sure what time that is, but it always seems to be the same amount of time apart as the time before. He fills my water jug and brings me a bologna sandwich and an apple and a pickle. I hate pickles, but I learned to like them. When you only get 3 things, you stop being picky. Sometimes I laugh about how Mom would be shocked to see me eating pickles. Then I cry, thinking about how shocked Mom would be to see me at all. Sometimes when he comes, he wants to talk. He talks and talks for hours. A lot about the good old days. About how when he was a kid, and he had a dog named Shep, and they lived near a river. How he would swim all day in the summers and drink cherry Kool-Aid, and his mom would make macaroni salad, and his dad would grill pork chops. Then he cries and says he doesn't know why he ended up the way he is, why he turned out to be such a loser when he had such a beautiful childhood. He calls it that, his beautiful childhood. Sometimes he tries to make me reply like I have the answer, but I never do. I never say what I want to say. That I also had a beautiful childhood, but I didn't turn out a loser. I was just taken by one. He took my beautiful childhood. I didn't waste it like he did. I get so angry, but I can't let him know that. Because when I get angry, he punishes me. He speaks to me like he's pretending to be my father. It's so weird. It's so scary. Some days, at that same time of day, he gets there. Or maybe it's night. I don't know. He hurts me. He hurts me in the ways they told us about in school, when they taught us about stranger danger. The ways my parents would warn me about. That's why I try not to get angry. Whenever I get angry, he hurts me worse. One time, I think he broke my wrist. He put a splint on it and wrapped it with a ripped up sheet. It healed, but it's never felt the same since. It aches a lot and it doesn't bend the same as it used to. Once, he didn't show up for a long time. I don't know how long. I can't keep track of time with no clock and no sun. But I know that I was beginning to starve. I ran out of water in my jug, too. When he came back, I couldn't stand up anymore. I was so hungry. He said he had family business to attend to. He seemed very sorry he was gone so long, and gave me extra food for a little while after that. Then, one day, he yelled at me that he wasn't made of money and he couldn't afford to feed me like some kind of prized hog. I never asked for the extra food. I was just grateful for it. And I hoped that he never left for that long again. Little red light, you're starting to blink in a way I've never seen before. I hope you're all right. Maybe I could tell you about me from before and how I got here. Would that make you feel better? I had a really normal life. There's Mom and Dad and Colby. He's my little brother. And I have a dog named Goldie. I got stuck down here the way a lot of kids get stuck in places like this. I was walking by myself I was only by myself for a second. My 2 friends and I all walked home together every day from school. Mom and Dad both worked until later, and Colby always stayed late for baseball or soccer or whatever sport it was that time of year. There was a spot where my friends and I had to split up, but it was only for a couple of minutes walking. It was an empty lot that split up the 2 neighborhoods. I think it was supposed to be a park, but nobody took care of it. So it was all overgrown and no one actually went there. I could even see the corner of my front yard from the spot we split up. I could see the corner of my yard when he got me. It all happened so fast. I don't even really know how it happened. From behind, I was suddenly wrapped up in a sleeping bag and thrown into a van. I couldn't get the doors open. There was metal between the front seat and the back, so I couldn't try to get to him either. I just screamed. I screamed and screamed until I could taste blood in my throat, and no more sound came out. I didn't see the outside of the house I'm in. When we got here, it was dark, and he hit me over the head with something to knock me out before he wrapped me in the sleeping bag again. When I got up, I was here with you, little red light. I was 13 years old. Little red light. I used to love dyeing my hair fun colors and painting my nails, even though it would just chip the next day. I loved listening to music with my friends, and my mom promised we'd go to my first music festival that summer. I wonder how long they looked for me. I wonder if they still look for me. Sometimes I worry that they think I ran away. I worry they think I didn't love them anymore and just left. But I also have happy daydreams too. I just can't help it, even though everything is terrible. I think about Luca, the boy I like at school. He didn't even know I existed before, but I bet he does now. What if he got really obsessed with finding me, this beautiful, mysterious girl on all the missing persons posters, and he makes it his quest to save me? What if someday he finds out where the van went and shows up here? I think about that a lot. About Luca showing up and picking me up with his big strong arms and carrying me out of this place. In my dreams, I'm not filthy and smelly like I am now. I think some of my teeth are rotting too. They hurt and they taste really bad. I only have a bucket for a bathroom. I sleep on a mattress that smells like mildew. But the older the man gets, the less he hurts me. He was very old when he got me, but now he looks ancient, seeing him is also how I try to figure out how long I've been here. He moves slower now. He complains about his arthritis and his knees. It seems like his hearing is going too. He looks like he might be sick with something. Maybe cancer. He kind of looks like when my grandpa got cancer when I was little. He's way skinnier than when I first got here. He turns the lights on, less and less now, too. He says he doesn't want to run up the power bill, so I mostly sit in the dark. That's why I finally noticed you, little red light, up in the corner. I'm pretty sure you're a camera. I realized no one sees me anymore but him. I don't even see me. I haven't seen myself in a mirror since before. You see me, though. And you listen. I've never talked out loud to you before, but I need to talk more than ever. The old man hasn't been around for a while. I think it's been a few days. I've just been here, in the dark, and I can feel that starving feeling again. Last time I saw him, he was so thin and so frail. I worry, what if he falls or dies? No one knows I'm here but you. But now I see your little light is blinking even faster. I think you're dying too. Please don't die, little red light. You're the only light I have. When you go, it'll be nothing but pitch black. And I don't think anyone is coming to find me. You're blinking faster and faster. Please don't. I can't be here all alone. I can't. Please. No. Goodbye, little red light. Goodbye. And the second story of tonight was actually originally written for an annual show called 9 to Midnight that a lot of different podcasters participate in. There's a theme of the show that's feeding the horror beast, which you'll notice in the story, but I didn't really get to enjoy the debut of this story because it was due right when my gallbladder decided to try to kill me last year. It was also read by my friend Pacifico Obadiah. This version is read by me. So I'm so happy to finally really get to enjoy this story so many months after initially writing it. I hope you do too. This is Cleanup on Aisle 2.
Hi, my name is Danny. Do I need to give my last name? The instructions weren't very clear. I'm sorry, I don't do any of this kind of stuff. I'm just recording this into my laptop. The sound is probably super shitty. Sorry, I don't have like a microphone or anything. So, I think I'm supposed to tell you what happened to me. That's what they said anyway. I don't know who they are. I don't know how they even found me. I don't even listen to podcasts. I don't think I even knew what one was until like a couple years ago. My sister really likes those murder ones. I try to listen to one, but no offense, it's kind of boring as shit just listening to people talk. I'd rather listen to music. I'm sorry. I think I should just start at the beginning. Did I say that already? Fuck. I'm shaking. I just want to get this over with. And for the messages to stop. It's probably all bullshit. I'm like 80% sure this is all a fucking prank or something, but I've also seen enough horror movies to not taunt fate or whatever. Also, shit's starting to happen around here. I kept putting it off. They gave a deadline, and the closer it gets, the more... God, I don't even like talking about this shit out loud, but I guess that's the whole point, right? So, like 6 years ago, right out of high school, I was working overnight stocking at a grocery store. It's a small mom and pop place, or was. They got pushed out by the big chains and closed since then. I don't know how much details I'm supposed to give. If you need the name, I can send it, but I also really don't want to dox myself, okay? So, I'm working the overnight shift. It's supposed to be me and this other guy, Tony. It's Tuesday night, which is usually our lightest shift. People don't shop much on Tuesdays, and we don't get any big shipments either. So Tony texts me and says, "Bro, my girl and I got into it. Can you handle tonight solo? I'll make it up to you, bro." And Tony is good people. Showed me the ropes when I first got there. He's an ex-con, so he's a little rough around the edges, but a big softy at heart. He never pulled shit, and this was out of the ordinary. So I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem. It's Tuesday, you know? Like I said, Tuesdays are light." Not gonna lie, I felt kind of adult going in that night. Like I said, I was just out of high school. I was like, sweet, I can just put on my music out loud on my phone, have the whole place to myself. It was probably the most excited I've ever been to go to work. When you work a job like that, anything out of the ordinary is exciting, you know? Anyway, I said goodbye to the closers, lock up, and get to work. I start at the dairy. That's what we call the whole big room behind the fridges where you get milk and yogurt and shit, you know? There's like giant refrigerators back there. I never knew that till I worked there. So I'm back there. I remember so clearly. I was holding a pint of buttermilk. There was this big noise, like a boom. I dropped the buttermilk and it splattered all over the floor. I just kind of froze. It's really hard to hear anything when you're back there. The refrigerators all make this loud buzzing noise, and you're behind all these glass doors the customers can see. So for one, I knew this noise had to be loud. And two, I couldn't even really listen to hear if someone had broken into the store. Even though it didn't sound like a break-in, it sounded like I don't know, a boom, like when jets break the sound barrier. What are those called? Sonic boom. A sonic boom. That's what it sounded like, but not as loud. Does that make any sense? I'm thinking I have to at least peek out to see what's going on, but I was scared. I also knew I needed to clean up this buttermilk. I started hyping myself up, thinking that it was probably just Tony. Maybe it wasn't even that weird of a sound. I just wasn't expecting it. He had said that he and his girl had gotten into it. He's probably in a pissed off mood and decided to show up to get away from the argument and slam the door. This gets me relaxed. So I don't even peek like I was going to. I just walk straight out and yell, "Yo, Tony, bro, you scared the shit out of me. I should make you clean up the mess I just made in dairy." I was walking and shaking off the adrenaline that had been pumping through when it filled my veins with ice again. As soon as I stepped out into the open store, Tony wasn't there. I didn't need to look around to know. I just knew. Like some kind of primal instinct or something. I don't know. All the hair stood up on my body. I was frozen. But I knew I couldn't stay that way. I talked myself down. What was I going to do? Call the cops? It would take them an hour to show up, and if they didn't find anything, I'd look like a biggest fucking idiot. And when you're 18, looking like an idiot is a big deal. I decide to text Tony, tell him what I heard. He gets back to me right away and says it's just the old building making noises or a car backfiring. I remember. He said, "You got this, big dog." With that, I knew I had to stop acting like a baby. So I pumped myself up, like a boxer. I jumped up and down, took some deep breaths, and I jogged along the perimeter of the store, looking down the aisles, into little nooks, all around the produce and tables of baked goods. I didn't see anything. I figured Tony was right. Just a car backfiring. I cleaned up the spilled buttermilk and finished stocking dairy. I started restocking the shelves that needed it. As I moved down the aisles, and I don't know, man. It's like there was more shadows than usual. Grocery stores aren't really shadowy. I don't know if you've noticed. Even at night, you've got all those fluorescent lights on, and it's bright as shit. It felt darker or something. But when I'd look up, those lights were just as bright as ever. My dumb ass even checked the back room for the dimmer switch, like a grocery store would need to set mood lighting or something. Of course, there was nothing like that, and it wasn't darker. But it was. And there weren't more shadows. But there were. I know. I sound fucking crazy. This is why I've never told anyone this shit, man. That's the thing. I've never told anyone about any of this. So how the fuck did you guys find me? Anyway, the rest of the shift was creepy, but I convinced myself I was just spooked. So the last thing to do is to wax the floors, okay? I pull out the big waxing machine, you've seen them, and I get to work going up and down, all across the floors and aisles. This machine is really loud, so I've got my headphones in, blaring music. Plus, the machine is just like, you know? I'm going along, and out of nowhere, bam! Something fucking grabs me by the shoulder and pulls me to the ground. I almost pissed my pants. I thought this was it. Someone had broken in, and they were about to take me out. I just yelled, "Please don't shoot. I just work here. Take whatever you want," while I tucked my head down and put my hands up. Not one of my braver moments, but if you think I'm going down to protect a place that pays me minimum wage, you're fucking nuts. I hear a man say, "Shut up, stay down. I'm not here to hurt you." I admit, I just kind of start blubbering. "Just take what you want, man." And I'm not even really listening. I even have my eyes closed. Then, dude slaps me in the back of the head and goes, "Shut the fuck up, kid. You're going to get us killed." So I open my eyes, and there's this guy crouched next to me. He's wearing a uniform, like blue coveralls, but they felt military somehow. He definitely looked military, like a G.I. Joe action figure, buzz cut, built like a brick shit house, face like Harrison Ford. He's holding a gun, or, well, it looked like a gun, but not like any gun I've ever seen. I searched for a long time online, too, since then, and I've never seen anything like it. It's hard to explain, but it had a chamber, but not like for bullets. It looked like really rounded. It seemed like it had extra parts on it. I've drawn it before, but I'm not a very good artist. It's hard to put what I saw in my brain on paper. Anyway, he's got that thing ready. And that's when I see it. The thing he saved me from. This part is hard to describe. Even harder than the weird gun. This thing was like shadows and light and tendrils of shadows, but somehow the shadows were thick and three-dimensional, but they weren't. The closest I've come to seeing it in this world is like a jellyfish or one of those squids that can change colors, but all made of shadow. You could see through it. But that even feels weird to say. Like it was here, but it wasn't. I guess maybe like a ghost, but this thing was no ghost. It wasn't human. It broke my brain. I felt like I was going insane just looking at it. Like I was seeing something I was never supposed to see. The military man said, "It's not from here," probably seeing how freaked the fuck out I was. Then he said, "Get this. And I'm not from now, but it's to save my then." Just like that. I'm not from now, but it's to save my then. Like, what the fuck does that mean? I know I'm not misremembering either, because it was so weird. I remember it being like a riddle or something. So he gets up, like some action hero, takes a stance, goes to shoot at it, but goddamn, this is so... It's hard to talk about this part, okay? The shadow monster whipped out a piece of shadow and light, and it looked like it gently brushed the military man. Gently. As soon as it did, he grabbed at something on his belt like he was pushing a button. I couldn't see. So, okay, it's like all this happened at once. So, it's hard to even say this in any order. When he did that, he started screaming. A scream I've never heard from a man before. Like something you'd hear on a battlefield. Pure pain and horror. So as he's pushing this thing, he's turning inside out. His lips curled back, peeling away from his teeth and his skull, and his fingernails split and peeled back, and his fingers all bust open and peel up his arm, and I can only assume that's what's going on inside his suit and his shoes, too. His eyes rolled back in his head, but not like when you roll your eyes, like fully all the way rolled back until I saw the back of them and blood. But before a fucking drop of blood hit the ground, he was also being sucked into some kind of fucking, I don't know, vortex, portal. All of that happened in a fucking split second, dude. Then he was gone. The shadow thing was gone too. It blinked out like a camera flash. And it was just fucking gone. They were both fucking gone. So that's what I saw, okay? Is that what you're sending after me if I don't tell you this? That fucking thing? Just call it off, okay? Just make it stop. You know, I waited for some kind of Men in Black or something to come talk to me after that. I waited for years. I knew someone had to know something. Someone had to know I saw what I saw. But no one ever came. Until I got your message. Every day the lights feel dimmer, and I get this cold chill. I did my part of the deal. I fed the beast. Leave me alone. Just please, don't let it get me.
Today's episode is presented by A24's harrowing new horror film, Bring Her Back, in theaters everywhere, May 30th. Nearly 2 years after bludgeoning the box office with the overnight all-timer Talk to Me, brothers Danny and Michael Philippou return to conjure even more terror from the aisles with Bring Her Back. A brother and sister uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother, played by Oscar-nominated actress Sally Hawkins. Bloody Disgusting's Megan Navarro calls it the feel-bad horror movie of the year, with scares as visceral and brutal as you'd expect. Discover how death can be undone in Bring Her Back, exclusively in theaters everywhere, May 30th.
I'm Dr. Jen Ashton, your host for Season 2 of The Visibility Gap, a podcast presented by Cigna Healthcare. Throughout this season, we'll be tackling something vital, the women's health gap. We'll hear from real people and experts as we unpack important topics like maternal health, menopause, and heart disease. Listen in and download the new season wherever you get your podcasts.
McCrispy strips are now at McDonald's. I hope you're ready for the most dippable chicken in McDonald's history. Dip it in all the sauces. Dip it in that hot sauce in your bag. Dip it in your McFlurry. Your dip is your business. McCrispy strips at McDonald's.
Thanks for listening. Thanks again to Brant Parks, the composer of the intro music. And that will be the permanent intro music for the show. Thank you so much, Brant, and please go check out his work in the show notes. I also have his Instagram linked and everything, so go to Brant for your music needs. And I will be, this is coming out kind of late, sorry. I worked on the first story a little later than I meant to, but I will be at Monsterpalooza Saturday, May 31st, which means probably today when you're listening, or yesterday or a few days ago. I wasn't sure. It was kind of a last minute thing. I don't have any panels or anything. I will be at the Boo Crew booth. If you happen to be there, if you happen to listen to this and you happen to be there, I will be at the booth that has the big Boo Crew sign. And that's where I'll be helping out my friends from the Boo Crew. And if you like this show, you can follow me on social media at scareyoutosleep if you'd like to follow the show. And for me personally, you can follow me at Shelby B. Novak. Please also check out my other show, the official Bloody Disgusting Podcast. Just look up the Bloody Disgusting Podcast, and there it is. And if you'd like a story considered to be read on the show, please send it to scareyoutosleep at gmail.com. And if you'd like an ad-free version of every one of these episodes, along with bonus episodes, go to patreon.com/scareyoutosleep and become a Patreon member today. I'd love to have you. And let's see what else. I think that's all the housekeeping. And we can move into the part of the show where I just sort of talk to bring us down from the scariness of the show. I hope you liked these stories. The second one was a little more sci-fi than I usually go. I did, like I said, my friend Pacific read it for that 9 to midnight, or was supposed to initially. It was a whole thing. We both had this cute little agreement since we're friends, and was like, I'll write your story, you narrate, and you'll write mine. And like I said, then my gallbladder decided to try to kill me, so that just didn't work out. But I made it a little more sci-fi because Pacific famously works on SCP Archives and Mayfair Watcher Society, much more sci-fi-y shows, so I kind of geared it for Pacific's taste. But I really love that story, and Little Red Light is a story that has lived in my head for a long time. I had this idea, I don't even know how long ago. It's been living in my notes on my phone in my little story ideas. I just had this vision of, it's one of the most horrific things to me is someone getting stuck somewhere. I've talked about this before. I don't know if you've seen the movie Prisoners with Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal, but kind of a little bit from that. I got the idea a little bit from that, a little bit from a few other things, but I just had this idea of like there was a story of a girl who was kidnapped, and I can't remember her name right now, but she talked about that being a fear of hers before, because she escaped. Like, good on her. She escaped her captor, and she said that was one of her fears, was like, if this guy dies, I'm like stuck here and no one knows I'm here. And she said that in an interview, and I found that interview while I was kind of doing some light research, just because I was listening to the last podcast on the left, doing the Joseph Fritzl series, which I already knew about Joseph Fritzl, but they have a newer series on him. And so I was listening to that, which is a horrifying story. So this other woman's story came up, and she mentioned that offhand, and I was like, so I had all these combinations of the worst kidnapping stories you can think of combined in my head, and it kind of came to me in this vision of like a girl, you know, we don't know what happens. And that's one thing I wanted to make, I have in my notes, is we don't know what happens at the end. And that's kind of where I got the title of this episode. Both stories, I realized, were kind of forlorn, aren't they? So I don't know. I'll ask a therapist someday about it. I've been having a lot of nightmares lately, actually. Yeah, and I keep having to like literally sleep on my couch because the one drawback of living alone, I mean, there's a couple, like when I can't open a jar or whatever, but like one of them is having a horrific nightmare in the middle of the night and being like, the only person here to comfort me is my cat. And so I go sleep on the couch because it's for some reason more comforting to sleep on a couch. I don't know why, at least for me. I guess because of the TV. I've talked about this in my Q&A episode, which, by the way, thank you so much for all the love I've gotten for my Q&A episode. I was a little worried. I had some friends listen to the first part because I was like, did I go a little hard? Did I sound like a crazy person when I was going off about my last name? And everyone's assured me I did not. I haven't gotten any bad feedback from my answer, but I have gotten a lot of good feedback. I have gotten a lot of great feedback. And thank you so much for all of your kind words and all of your questions and comments and things. It was a really fun episode to do. If you missed it, last week I did a Q&A episode. It's very long. I answered a lot of questions. And I think there were still a couple that I realized I missed from like that people sent me from like different like some people didn't follow the rules. And so I missed them because they sent me questions over like social media and stuff. And I just not skipped them, but I forgot about them or I missed them until it was too late. But yeah, I couldn't believe how many questions I got, and it was a lot of fun. And I got some anger out. I got to angrily answer a question for once and for all near the beginning there. So if you want to be nosy, go listen to that. And I mean, it's not nosy. I put it out there for you, so you're not being nosy, or I don't know. But anyway, it was really cathartic to answer some of those. And what else? Oh, I baked this week. I did bake some cherry almond scones, and I burnt them a little bit. I don't know how. I didn't even put that, like, they would have needed less than the time the recipe said. And my oven is gauged pretty well. By the way, your oven is probably not the exact temperature that it says it is when you set it. You can get an internal temperature gauge that you put inside your oven. It's very helpful, especially my old place had a very old, very shitty oven that like the temperature was way off. If you would put it on 350, like that was not what was actually what the oven actually was. And it was really poorly insulated as well. But you can buy internal little thermometers that you can put inside your oven so you can see what your temperature of your oven really is. I highly recommend it, especially if you live in an apartment so you're not really in charge of your oven. You know, you kind of get what you get. You know, and a lot of times they're old and kind of shitty. So highly recommend one of those. But anyway, I don't know what happened. I've never burnt these before. Who knows? I don't know. Fairies? We'll say fairies, maybe? Sure, why not? Baking fairies who were mad at me because they didn't want cherry almond. Maybe they wanted blueberry. I don't know. But they're fine. They're fine. They're just like a little overdone. They're just a touch almost black on the bottom. It's fine. I actually like that char kind of taste. Like when I make marshmallows, like when I roast marshmallows, I set them on fire. Like I want them black. I want them blackened. So I like that kind of char taste. It's fine. It's all fine. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to Monsterpalooza. I helped my friends from the Boo Crew set up the other day, and that was so much fun getting to be in the museum section without a crowd of people. I've never been in there without a huge crowd, and getting to see all the artistry and craftsmanship of all the statues and props and everything. And that was a blast. And I got in a good workout. It's a good workout when you set up for conventions. You're carrying tables and tubs and pushing carts and everything. So it was great. It was such a great day. I love helping and I love hanging out with my friends from the Boo Crew. Go check out the Boo Crew. Have I said Boo Crew enough today? Maybe not. But yeah, if you're there today or tomorrow, come say hi. Please come say hi. I would love to say hello to you. And, you know, I'm happy to take pictures, and I'm going to try. I think I have some stickers I can bring that I can hand out, but we have Bloody Disgusting stickers there, and they have a ton of stuff for, the Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings, because they also do the Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings. Same people. I just keep saying the Boo Crew booth because the Boo Crew sign is bigger and just more it's boo crew, and green, and the Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings it's harder to, it's not as easy to read across a room. But yeah, there's all kinds of merch there. You should go get some. They have candles that smell so good. So go get a candle. Buy a candle from me. It's from that. It's there. Like they're selling it. But I can hand it to you. I can easily hand it to you. I could do that. So yeah, come see me tomorrow. I made some scones, and I think that's it for now. I'm gonna go. I had a very long week, but a very satisfying week. I'm so happy to have reached the 7th. Oh, I told you I would get sappy in this one, because honestly, you guys, 7 years. Some of you have been there since year 1, been here since year 1, and that's wild. That was one thing that surprised me from the Q&A episode, was how many of you were like, oh yeah, I've listened since like episode 3. And it's like, what? Like, really? That's just so bananas to me. And it's like your family. Like, we have kind of known each other. Like, you've known me for almost a decade now. That's wild. And I say it, I try to say it as often as I can, but I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm so grateful for all the opportunities this show has brought me. I mean, again, I went into it last week, but like, you've literally changed my life. You've literally brought me a whole new life. The woman who started the show wouldn't even recognize me. I mean, for one, my hair is different, so she genuinely, if it was like looking from behind, she wouldn't recognize me. But she was, living with a bajillion fucking nasty roommates. They were all nasty dudes. Ugh, you don't even want to know what was happening with the toilet situation, the bathrooms. Oh God, it was disgusting. And, in a shitty marriage, the worst, like a really bad, I went into it more, I gave you guys more details last week than I ever have. And like I said, that's not even the half of it. A really bad marriage. And just this, it was awful. It was a horrible, she was a sad, pitiful little lady who didn't know what she wanted to do with her life and was very sad and depressed and just didn't even know why she even existed on earth. And now I have my natural hair color again. No, many other changes. I have a different name now. That was a big point of contention last week. I have a different name now, different hair. I live somewhere else. I'm single. I'm working on other shows. I have so many different opportunities. I'm like, seriously, like you sitting there listening, even if you just started listening, you're contributing. Don't even think you're like not a part of this. You like change someone's whole life, and that's like wild. That always makes me feel good whenever I hear creators, especially creators I've been a fan of for so long, and they're like, they have these points of reflection, and it's like, because of you, and like I'm doing this now. Like I have this YouTuber I watch who I just really enjoy, and he recently bought a house, and I've watched him since he was like, same as me, just like, really struggling and being like, I guess I just really believe in this thing that I'm doing on YouTube. And it's like watching him buy a house and have his dog and everything. I'm like, oh my God, like, it's like we're all little pieces of family. We're all so distant these days because of social media, because of the internet, because of the way the world is. And I feel like these are pieces of humanity and community. I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm just talking. I'm just a lady who's talking. But I'm going to go. I'm very tired. I've eaten 3 scones today. Whenever I'm writing, I eat a lot. Fellow writers out there, is that a thing for you too? Whenever I'm in writing mode, I eat more than like any other time. I don't know what it's like, a concentration thing. I don't know if it's like my brain is like, fuel me. I don't know what it is, but I've had 3 bowls of curry and 3 scones today. That's another thing I'll do, is I will only eat like one. I'll pick a meal. I'll make a pot of something, make one meal, and eat that meal until I'm done writing the thing for like days. And that I'll also do that. So I don't know what you would call that. Someone's going to diagnose me with something. How fun. Isn't that fun? Let me know in the comments what you diagnose me as. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that. but it is like a weird thing that I notice I happen to go to every time I'm in like writing mode. That's enough yapping from me. I'm gonna go, and you're gonna go, and we're gonna celebrate 7 years together. Again, even if you're new here, just go along with it, okay? You're still invited to the anniversary party. The anniversary with, it's not, I was gonna say with just me and myself, but it's actually our anniversary party, all of us. And actually, I said I got myself a gift of new music. Really, you got it for me, so thank you. You remembered. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna go. I love you so much. Like, I love you so much. So much from the bottom of my heart. I wish you all nothing but, like, I just send out good vibes to you. Like, I think of you all, and I genuinely mean that. And that's probably so fucking cheesy. So cheesy. But I do, and I think about you, and I send you good vibes. And sometimes individually, listeners who I just have known from over the years, who pop up a lot, who email a lot, or are really active on like in the Facebook group or on Instagram. Like, I know your names and I know who you are, and I feel like I've just known you for so long. And I'm gonna go, and I'm so grateful, and I love you. Please drink water. Please drink your water. It's getting hot. It's starting to get hot outside, unless you're in the other hemisphere. Australians, what's up? I know I have a lot of Australian listeners. I really appreciate you guys. I want to go to Australia so bad. I've wanted to go for like years. I have dreams about Australia. Never been there. Never been. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know. It's like there's a calling for me there. I don't know what the calling is. I have no idea. But anyway, Australia, what's up? Can I come? Am I invited? But yeah, anyway, that all started just because I said it was getting hot soon, and I know it's turning fall in Australia, fall, winter-ish, right? I might be wrong. And not just Australia, New Zealand too. I see you. I know I have some great New Zealand listeners out there who are you guys are more vocal in the social media than the Australian listeners, but there are more Australian listeners than there are of you. So I don't know if you're just a more social bunch. I don't know. Am I starting a war? I don't know. I'm delving into geopolitical politics that I don't understand. I also just said geopolitical politics. That doesn't make any sense. That means I really need to go. Okay, I love you. Go get some sleep. Sweet dreams. Today's episode is sponsored by A Hard Place, the latest film from the mind of veteran horror director and indie filmmaking guru Jay Horton. When 6 criminals on the run from the law need to lay low, they find themselves trapped in a hard place, caught in the midst of ancient war between the creatures that roam the night and the monsters that rule the day. A sure-to-thrill creature feature starring Felissa Rose and Bai Ling. You can buy or rent A Hard Place now on Amazon Prime Video.
McCrispy strips are now at McDonald's. I hope you're ready for the most dippable chicken in McDonald's history. Dip it in all the sauces. Dip it in that hot sauce in your bag. Dip it in your McFlurry. Your dip is your business. McCrispy strips at McDonald's.
Sun's out, snack's out, and My Mochi ice cream is your go-to summer treat. My Mochi's bite-sized beauties are only around 70 calories each. They're packed with cool, creamy ice cream and wrapped with soft, chewy dough. Totally satisfying, perfectly portioned, and ready to cool you down with every delicious bite. My Mochi ice cream fits your summer vibe. Treat yourself smart with a joyfully chill sensation of My Mochi. Look for the purple box of My Mochi at Walmart or visit mymochi.com to find a store near you.